Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. Today, we're going to be basically dismantling the allotment. We're going to be taking down some of these blighty tomatoes and harvesting what we've got left in the allotment patch here. So it's really important to kind of like know when to call it. Over the years, I've kind of left it and left it and left it and left it, and there's nothing worse than cleaning up rotten tomatoes. It's grim, and you get seeds everywhere. So I decided to make a start on it today. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm looking at the tomatoes and I'm having a little bit of a self-reflection now. It is September, right? So if I'm not having tomatoes that are pretty much like on the cusp, I'm pulling them because the blight is spreading quick, and lots of these tomatoes that I'm pulling up, basically I have completely yielded to the blight. We get blight every year, right? But hopefully every year we pray that the blight will come very late. October, September is like perfect time for blight. But sadly, we got blight early July. So yes, it is sad to see them all blighty, but they've done really well. I have got ridiculous amount of tomatoes out of this area. I know everyone asks, well, some people ask how many tomatoes I do have, and the answer is 50. I actually sowed 50 tomatoes in this area, which means that I have 50 healthy plants going into the ground. Most of them got blight. So I'm going to go ahead. I went ahead and pruned them savagely, and I made sure that anything that had blight on I was pulling, and I pulled plants early to make sure that anything with blight was removed swiftly. But now it's getting to the point where I'm going to be pulling them out, and I'd way rather pull them now than have massive issues with them later and having to scrape yucky tomatoes up. I kind of want this year to be on top of putting the new manure down, so I'll be rolling up this black plastic and putting heaps of horse manure down. It's really good. It revitalizes the soil. It allows the worms to come up from the hard clay into the horse manure to find food, which will really benefit the soil and aerate the soil incredibly. And I do believe that if you can make an animal do something that they enjoy, that works for you, you should totally do that. So why not get the worms do all of the work that digging does? Do you see what I mean? So that's what I'm going to be doing here, and hopefully that, and the fact that next year I think it's going to be much better. Hopefully that means that we'll have tons of tomatoes again next year, or squashes, or whatever we're going to be sowing here. It'll be terribly exciting. But I am really enthusiastic about that. Now, I feel that the summer, don't get me wrong, the summer is hard. It's hot. Normally it's hot, and I feel like I'm going to faint when I'm harvesting. This year, not so much. But the winter is the hard slog. It's cold, it's miserable, it's really difficult to be going out. I want to be sat at home with a cup of coffee and, snuggled up by the radiator with a good book. But going out it's honestly the best thing I do all winter, is going out and making sure that I am putting that extra bit of manure down in all of my garden beds. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I still have quite a lot in the allotment that is not ready yet. My squashes, I've got some beetroots, etc. However, I am going to be 100% concentrating and clearing up, I think, over the next few weeks, and making sure that I have a load of things that are thriving for next year. Furthermore, our sweet potatoes are still growing. I think they're really hitting this stride now. They're exploding across the allotment. They have until about October when I have to pick them. So I'm going to leave them for another month and see what happens. It's still slightly warm. I actually think that it's getting warmer and warmer. I actually got sunburn this day. I know. And I know what you're thinking, but why didn't you wear suntan lotion? You're always saying, wear suntan lotion. This is the first time that I came to the allotment without my factor 50. And I ended up burning my shoulders. It's so warm. Which is funny because it's the first sunburn that I've had all summer. Which is silly. I know I should have put suntan lotion on. But you live and you learn, don't you? And hopefully I'll live and learn not to do that again. So normally I'm a big big fan of sunscreen so that I don't get burnt. But hey ho, it's one of those things. And it was sweltering on this day, which is really lovely because I have seen that I think the next week is going to be particularly very, very warm. Of course it is because we're all back to work. So yeah, naturally it's nice and warm. I remember that as a kid, don't you? When you used to go back to school and it used to be so hot that you couldn't believe that, the summer's meant to be over. But September apparently is a summer month. So that's exciting. We're also looking forward to harvest again, which is coming up soon next month. And I really enjoy looking back, and I already feel as the pumpkin lattes and the Halloween decorations, and do you know what? I've already seen it. The Christmas decorations, oh my days, are coming out. I start reflecting over the season. And was this the best season that I've ever grown in? Honestly? Because we always try to be honest. No, it wasn't. But is it something that I've learned a lot from? Yes, it is. And I've learned a lot about blight this year. I've learned that you can still get a successful harvest during blight season. I've learned how to store tomatoes during blight season, grow tomatoes during blight season, and most importantly, be thankful for what I have during blight season, which is quite difficult if you think about it. I do hope next year will be a little bit sunnier, but we don't know. I'm just going to put my best foot forward and hope for the best. I am going to double down on the peppers. I'm going to double down on the squashes. I'm going to double down on a number of different things. And probably next year it's going to be so hot that I'm going to be swimming in peppers and mushrooms and all sorts of things. But we don't know yet, do we? Because as it comes into autumn, hopefully, my mushrooms will be kicking off and it will be a fantastic time. And I'll be eating so much mushroom soup that I turn into a mushroom, which will be really exciting. But I have to say, these tomatoes are really, really pumping in. I'm getting to the point where I'm actually drying them in the dehumidifier, making them into powder for like tomato puree. I don't make it as a paste just because it's just... I've seen how they do it traditionally and it's amazing, and they do it on the kitchen table and it looks great. But I have a Dutch herder which is famous for shedding, so I don't really fancy the tomato paste a la a load of dog hair. So yeah, best powder for us anyway. I mean, it tastes just as nice anyway. I think anything you make yourself tastes just as nice. It makes me proud that I have so much put away for the winter. I'm really excited to see if we have enough over this Christmas period, especially where it comes to the old tomatoes, because I haven't bought tomatoes in years and I'm not going to start now, you know what I mean? Is there anything that you feel that you're self-sufficient in? If you know, if you've got anything even, let me know down below. And thank you so much for watching. Honestly, you've been amazing. And I'm always staggered when I get my, YouTube does a little summary of the week. And I'm always staggered. So many people tune in and see little old me. And I'm I'm just flabbergasted. So thank you so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.